Okay, so my original, like, the little intro where I talked about the deck a little bit before the actual duels go out for the Alien Quasar deck was about 5 minutes long, but I cut out a ton of crap I was talking about in that because it was like 5 minutes long, and I usually like to make those a minute or less, and that one still ended up being like a minute and a half, even though I cut out a lot. So I thought I would just make it a video on its own to explain everything about this deck, because I did get some questions asked, like, why do I use the Battle Chanted Locomotive and Dark Mimic but not Alien Gray? Here, let me type out Alien Gray real quick. Alien Gray. Here he is. He's basically like them. When he's flipped, you get to draw a card, plus you get to put an A counter on your opponent. Plus, he's an alien monster, which means he can be targeted for Code A Ancient Ruins. And the only reason he's in here is because he's level 2. If he was level 1 monster, he'd probably fit in just fine. But at level 2, he doesn't really. I mean, he kind of can with Junk Synchron, you know, bringing him out from the graveyard to go into level 5s. That works out just fine, but Junk Synchron's in here almost exclusively to be in the deck and, like, never used from the hand. So if you're drawn to both of them, your strategy is... it's still not dead. You can still go into a Formula Synchron, because the whole strategy of this deck is trying to go into 2 Cosmic Fortress Golgars and going into an Excel Synchron off of that. So you go into 3 Synchro Summons, 2 of them being level 5 alien monsters, and then 1 Excel Synchron. Use an Excel Synchron's effect to send Junk Synchron from your deck to the graveyard to reduce his level by 3. That way it becomes level 2 Tuner Synchro monster, and then you can go into Quasar. The entire deck is trying to go into Quasar as quick as possible, and that's the quickest way to do it, is with Alien Armonite into one of your level 4 aliens, into Cosmic Fortress Golgar, and then return a whole bunch of cards on the field to generate A counters. And I think in order to do the combo, you need somewhere around like 3 or 4 A counters out on the field. So if you also need Code A Ancient Ruins out in order for that to go off. If not, Nodin works just fine too. That's why I have Instant Fusion and Nodin in here. He can go into level 5 Synchros too by just bringing out Alien Armonite, except he has to go into like the non-alien ones, because this one requires Alien Armonite plus an alien monster. Kind of restrictive, but it's pretty good. So if you want to see how that works out, just watch the video and you'll see it go off a couple of times. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ways to bring out Quasar with this deck, but the main one is the one I just explained. The other ways to do it, of course, I also have a level 1 alien in here, Alien Psychic. He's only in here because he's a level 1 alien, which I wish Alien Gray was, but he's not. So just in case I want to go into like a Formula Synchron, I can use Code A Ancient Ruins to bring out Alien Psychic, or I can just use Alien... okay, let me see if I can pronounce his name. Ammonite. I think that's how that sounds like it's the right one. Alien Ammonite to bring out Alien Psychic and go into Formula Synchron, because he's actually pretty good. You draw a card off of it, whatever he does. His effect, I mean. And I just have, you know, aliens are self-explanatory. Blackwing Zephyros is really good for 2 reasons. One, he's a dark type level 4 monster, so if you bring him out with Summoner Monk, you can go into Keymaster Beetle and use him to protect one of your continuous spell cards, because you use a lot of those, so that's nice. It's not really what you use them for mainly though, because you're going to be returning these to your hand a lot once you get into Cosmic Fortress Dragon. The other reason he's really good is for his effect to return a card on the field to your hand, because you can only use Code A Ancient Ruins effect once per turn. But if you return to your hand, like you can do with Cosmic Fortress or with a Zephyros in the graveyard, you can use it again. So that's what he's in here for return to your hand, just in case you need to, or just to go into some rank 4 plays, or to have more monsters out for Synchro Summons. Mainly for returning it to your hand so you can, you know, use the effect again. And I have the Battle Enchanted Locomotive and Dark Mimic for the same reason I have, you know, like Alien Psychic and Zephyros, because he's a level 4 monster, so he can potentially go into a level 5 Synchro Summon play. And Dark Mimic's in here because he's a level 1 monster. You can potentially go into a level 2 Synchro play. And because they both have great card advantage, plus he's a dark type, so he can also go into the Keymaster Beetle lock. Well, actually you can't do the lock, but you can, you know, go into Keymaster Beetle to protect your cards. So he's good for the advantage because he draws a card when he's flipped. which is great. Any card that can replace himself is pretty nice. So you're just trying to, like, you know, draw into Code Ancient Ruin. So this deck has lots of advantage in it. Same reason with Dark Mimic. It's for the advantage. And even Mathematician. He's great for sending cards to the graveyard and for his advantage of dying on, you know, being killed. So Mathematician's great for the advantage you gain from it. If you have Supply Squad, it's even better. You're going like +1 off of every death. So it's pretty great in this deck since you are using Supply Squad. You really want to get like Supply Squad and a Code A out. The more continuous spell cards you have out, the better, thanks to Cosmic Fortress Dragon. And the more your opponent has out, the even more better, because you get 1 A counter for every one you return to their hand with his effect. Okay, so I think that explains all the cards in here. I have Alien Shock Trooper in here because of Rescue Rabbit, because I can go into King of Feral Imps to add an Alien Ammonite from my deck to my hand, because this is like what the whole deck revolves around, is this little guy right here. It's level 1 tuner monster because you can bring out one of the level 4 guys from your graveyard. Alien Warrior to distribute A counters, same reason the Alien Kid. I think Alien Warrior, I don't know. I had never really got any A counters out with Alien Kid, but I did actually was able to go into a Quasar once because of the 2 A counters this guy produced when he was destroyed. So that was pretty nice, but I mean, Alien Kid, same thing. Planet Pollutant Virus is in here because it's really great. 1 Fiendish Chain is just in here, that's probably like the only one that was just kind of throw it in. 1 Fiendish Chain isn't really going to do anything, but you can reuse it with Cosmic Fortress Dragon or Zephyros. So it's not all that bad. If you want to go into Effect Negation, Fiendish Chain is definitely the one for this deck anyway. And I think that explains all of the main deck cards. I'm trying to think if I skipped over one. Summoner Monk, of course, mainly for also King of Feral Imps. That way you can go into your combo as soon as possible. Alien Ammonite. And then Instant Fusion for Elder God because he's really good for going to level 5s as well. Galaxy Cyclone because you need some kind of MST. I'm loving Galaxy Cyclone right now. Upstart Goblin because your deck's trying to, you know, get out a couple of cards to get a combo off. So you need as much mill as you can get, and Pod of Duality isn't an option because this deck special summons a lot. And Pod Duality really limits your plays, while Upstart Goblin doesn't. Okay, and on to the extra deck. I have 2 Cosmic Fortress. I really want to play a 3rd one, but can't really fit it in here. Like, the entire extra deck is like super controlled right now. I'm running 3 Instant Fusions, but only 2 Nodens, because you rarely ever go into a 3rd Noden in a match. But you do want to get out Noden because he's really good. So I have the 3 Instant Fusions in here to have an opportunity to get out the Noden, but if it goes into late game, which it can, and you draw into one of these and both your nodes in the graveyard, it is a dead draw. But that's like, usually you're trying to get out shooting Quasar Dragon really quickly, and when you get him out, it's really hard to come back from, you know, or from trying to kill a Quasar, because it's not easy to get rid of. Your opponent's going to go minus trying to get rid of this guy, if he can at all, because he's really, really good. There's a reason there's a whole bunch of decks just built around him, because if you can get him out, it's basically a win, or a really hard thing to come back from. So you don't really have to worry about late game and having a 3rd Instant Fusion here. It's basically, there's 3 of them in here to increase your advantage of actually drawing into one of them. That way you can actually use Noden, because Noden's really good for going into level 5 Synchro Monsters. As for the Synchro Monsters themselves, besides shooting Quasar Dragon and Cosmic Fortress Golar, I also have our BD's Keeper of the Boundaries, because he's pretty good at winning you games sometimes. Ally of Justice, Cataster. If I can only fit in 1 level 5 Synchro Monster, it's always this guy, because he is better than armies. This guy can win you games, and he's really situational, so if you're playing a deck with lots of level 5 Synchro Monsters, you're going to play this guy too, because he's pretty good. But if you have a really limited space for level 5s, you usually just go for Cataster, because he's really good too. He's a lot more useful in more situations than Armenides is. With his, your opponent can activate any card effects while he attacks. And this guy, he just like pretty much destroys everything but non-dark type monsters. And then Excel Synchron, I explained how he works. He's basically in here because he's a level 5 tuner, which you can go into super easily with an Alien Armonite and a Warrior, or an Elder God into one of the Alien Ammonites. And then you just send a Junk Synchron from your deck to the graveyard to become level 2 and then go into Synchro. I mean, yeah, shooting Quasar. And then we have Elder God, Cthulhu in here, just because I have Junk Synchron. And maybe I was going to bring like a Dark Mimic or something. And he's pretty good at taking out rank 4, I mean, yeah, XYZ monsters, because if he's brought out, all rank 4 XYZ monsters get returned to the deck, so it's a pretty good effect. Plus, you can also use him to go into rank 4s and draw a card. He's a pretty good level 4 monster. I mean, level 4 synchro monster. And then I have Photon Pulse Dragon. In here, he's not really needed. Because, like, really the only way to go into this guy is with, like, an Alien Ammonite and a Mathematician, or a Junk Synchron and a Dark Mimic, or an Alien Psychic. So, yeah. Photon Pulse, I can probably take this out and just add in the third Cosmic Fortress, but just in case you need to go into that level 4, that way you can get your level 2 tuner monster, because you can make him either levels 1 through 4, so that's pretty flexible for getting out shooting Quasar Dragon if you are able to go into a level 4 synchro monster. Then of course Formula Sync goes in here because he was like the only synchro tuner monster in the game for a long time, so most Quasar decks were all about either going into a Formula Synchron plus 2 level 5 monsters. That was like the staple for shooting Quasar Dragon decks, but you can probably do a little bit more now. I still think that's like the best way to do it, but there's a lot of other ways because there's a lot more synchro tuner monsters now. There's even like other level 2 synchro tuner monsters besides just Formula Synchron. Plus you got Photon Pulse Dragon, you got Excel Synchron, there's a level 3 one, there's a level 6 one, there's like a level 7 one too. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to go into him now. And then the extra deck, my rank 4 XYZ monsters. I have Cowboy in every deck, and I have Castle in every deck. That can go into rank 4 plays just because they're really good. Castle can get rid of pretty much anything, and Gaga Cowboy can win you games with that little extra burst damage, because that's pretty nice. King of Pharaoh Imps go into him quite often to search out Alien Ammonite. And then of course I've got Keymaster Beetle because I do have a lot of dark type level 4 monsters, so and I play a lot of continuous spell cards, so it's a good way to protect him. I also had to take out that one card. I forget what it's called. Extinction Knight? Yeah, I even took out this guy. This is like another one. If I have any like level 4 XYZ monsters and I have to cut out as many as possible, I usually still leave in Gaga Cowboy, King of Pharaoh. No, Gaga Cowboy, Castle, and Extinction, but this is like the only deck where I've taken him out, and I think I died a little inside when I took him out to like put in a stupid Photon Pulse Dragon. So yeah, the extra deck is just cards I like to switch in and out. Yeah. So any of these could like fit into the deck pretty easily as well. Level Leader, I thought it would be another nice way to get a level 1 monster out pretty easily, but then he would like mess with the level, so I decided not. Alien Dog's a really good way to get out A counters, since you don't have to rely on just Cosmic Fortress Dragon generating all of them. You can get out 2 for free basically with Alien Dog, if he's in your hand. I mean, that's not really free, you do have to pay a card cost. And he is level 3, so doesn't really fit in the deck. If he was level 4, he would be the best alien card in this deck. But since he's level 3, he's basically a sideline card. I wanted to say he's useless, but he's not really. Those 2 A counters are still pretty good, even if he is level 3. And then everything else is just, staple trap cards and crap.